This is your geometry sample test, Unit 10, Circles. Number 1. If LO is the diameter of circle P, then what represents the measure of angle LMO? LO is right here and it's a diameter, so that means this is half a circle here, so that's 180 degrees. And we want to know the measure of angle LMO, which cuts that off. As you can see, this cuts off the arc of 180, so by our rule this angle would be half of that, or 90 degrees. That's the measure of angle LMO. That's number 1. Number 2. Secants PB and PD intersect the circle at points A and C, respectively. What represents the length of PC? Well, PC is this piece out here, so since we don't know what that is, we'll make that X. And by our rule, the outside times the whole segment of this side is equal to the outside times the whole segment of this side. The outside of this segment is 4. The whole segment is all of this, or 4 plus 5, so we're just going to put that there. We're going to set that equal to the outside of this, which is X. The whole segment is 12. And multiply and solve for X, and that will be our answer. So 4 plus 5 is 9, times 4 is 36, and that's going to equal 12x. We divide both sides by 12. X equals 3, and therefore the measure of PC equals 3. And that's number 2. Number 3. The figure shows a circle. The measure of angle RPQ equals 50 degrees, and the measure of PRQ equals 60. And we've got both of those marked. What represents the measure of arc PR? So that's this out here. So if we want to know what this arc is, we need to follow it back in to see the angle, and we see that it is angle Q, so we need to find that angle, and we'll be able to find our answer. So first, let's find out the measure of that angle. And 60 plus 50, that gives us 110 so far. We know they have to add up to 180 since it's a circle, so we subtract the 110 from 180, and that gives us 70. So 70 goes out here. Since this is an inscribed angle, it's going to be half of this arc, so to find the arc, we just multiply the angle times 2, and our answer is 140 degrees. Number 4. A, B, and C are points of tangency. If AP equals 4, and BQ equals A, then what represents the measure of segment PQ? Okay, well if these are points of tangency, that means that the distance from P to A is going to be the same as it is from P to C, so that'll be 4. On this side we've got Q to B is 8, so Q to C is going to be the same distance. And now we want to know what P to Q is. Well, add those two up. PQ is equal to 8 plus 4 to equal to 12. That's the answer to number 4. Number 5. The measure of arc AD is 28 AC. What represents the measure of ADC? So AC is arc, like we just said a couple problems ago. That is going to be twice as big as the angle that cuts it off, so all we have to do is divide 28 by 2, and that would be 14. So the measure of angle ADC equals 28 divided by 2 equals 14 degrees. Number 6. BD is tangent to the circle at B, and the measure of arc AC is 108. What represents the measure of angle CBD? So CBD, we're looking for this angle right here. And we know that arc AC, this one out here, is 108. 108 is the arc that matches up with this angle here. So to find this angle, we'll just divide that by 2. So 108 divided by 2 equals 54. So 54 is going to go right here. Now to find this angle, since this is a right angle over here, we know this is going to be a right angle here as well. So we're just going to do 90 minus 54, and that equals 36. So the measure of angle CBD equals 36 degrees. Number 6. Number 7. ABC is circumscribed about circle O. P and Q are points of tangency such that BP equals 3 and CQ equals 5. What represents the measure of line segment BC? Well, from B to P we've got 3. So we're going to put a 3 right here. From C to Q we've got 5. So from here to here it's going to be 5. We want to know distance from B to C, so we just have to do 5 plus 3. So line segment BC equals 8. Number 8. If the measure of angle CAB equals 40, then what represents the measure of angle CDB? Okay, well, CAB is this angle here, CAB, and it cuts off this arc here. We want to know the measure of CDB, so CDB goes here, and you'll notice it cuts off the same angle. So since they both cut off the same arc, that's going to be 40 as well. So measure angle CDB equals 40 degrees. Number 9. AB is tangent to circle C at B. If AB equals 15 centimeters and the radius of the circle is 8 centimeters, what represents the length of AC? So we're trying to find AC. We know that AB is 15 and the radius is 8. And since this is tangent, we know this is a right angle right here. So we're just going to use Pythagorean theorem. X will be our hypotenuse. So we'll do 8 squared plus 15 squared equals x squared. 8 squared plus 15 squared is 64 plus 225 is 289 equals x squared. Square root both sides to find x. That gives us x equals 17. That's number 9. Number 10. In circle O, RST, formed by chords RS and diameter ST, has a measure of 30 degrees. If the diameter is 12 centimeters, then what represents the length of chord SR? So let's see what we've got here. Circle O, RS, diameter ST. Line segment ST has a measure of 30 degrees. The diameter is 12 centimeters, and what represents the length of chord SR? Okay, so diameter is 12, so from here to here is 12. 90 degrees there. We want to know what the length of SR is right here. That'll be our X. Alright, it says RST is a measure of 30 degrees. I'm going to say that that's a misprint. This should be a 30 here. And that's a 30. And this angle will be 60 since they all have to add up to 180. We want to find the length of SR. Well, this is a special right triangle. And in a special right triangle, a 30, 60, 90 right triangle, which this is, the general rule is that The short side is half of the hypotenuse, and the long side is the square root of 3 times the short side. So if the hypotenuse is 12, and this would be 30, and this would be 60, this would be half of that, so the short side would be 6, and this would be 6 square root of 3, and in this case we're looking for the long side, so our answer is 6 square root of 3. You can also work that out using trigonometry or SOHCAHTOA. If we do SOHCAHTOA, set it up for you here. SOHCAHTOA, we have the angle, we have the hypotenuse, and we're looking for the other side. So O and H we're going to use sine. So you would set that up. Let's do it up here. Sine 60 equals x over 12. Cross multiply, we'll have x equals 12 times sine 60, or x equals 10.4. If we plug 6 square root of 3 into that, 6 square root of 3, same answer. So there's your answer either way you choose to do it. And that is questions 1 through 10 on your Unit 10 test review. 11 through 20 will be on the next one. Thanks for watching.